Excuse me. Hey, Thorn, hang on for a second. I got a setup issue. Check. Check. There we go. All right, I think we got it running. I could hear my microphone in my headset with a slight delay. It was really disconcerting. So just got to set up Twitch and we're good to go. Hey, how was your day, by the way? I hope your headache is gone. And I think we are good to go. All right. So I'm going to show you the design because I'm in the middle of it. It's hard to see. This is the design that I built. This is off of somebody else's YouTube video. This was the simplest to put together. It's not the most efficient design, but it's efficient enough for my needs. And it was really easy to set up. I farmed all the bamboo that I was going to need. Basically, if you can, where are we now? Here was my mouse. All of this that you see along the side is, shit, what do you call them? Scaffolding. So I had to farm a shit ton of bamboo. So I went and did that before I played Division 2 this morning. And then started the process of smelting a bunch of cobblestone so I could make stone, smelting that again so that I could make smooth stone. So that was going on while I was playing Division 2. The farm itself took about an hour to build. Hey, Cuds, what's going on? This took about an hour to build, and then it took, I don't know, for a half an hour, 45 minutes to get the shulker over. It actually was easier than I thought. If you can see this area right here, what it is I expanded that to a full square with blocks. These are bottom slabs so that they're not spawnable on the top surface. So I put full blocks in here. Went to where there was an end island where I knew there were shulkers because I left a couple on purpose. I got one into a boat, lassoed him, flew back with the elytra, managed to crash into the side of the building right here. Actually, I crashed in up here, so the boat landed here. As soon as I broke the boat, he teleported, or she, or whatever it is, teleported into the farm. Done. It was really straightforward. Broke the blocks, and then basically where I am, if you can see that little square hole at the top, that is up there. It's more scaffolding. So I'm in an area that is surrounded by soul sand that's on fire. So the bullets, if you want to call them that, from the shulkers can't reach me. And I don't know fully the mechanics behind how they die, but they die. So as soon as I got that done, it was about 1:30, thereabouts, 1:30, 1:45. I've been AFK ever since. I went and did a bunch of errands. I've been back and forth. Basically just came back from being AFK and started the stream. So we're going to go find out how much this has garnered for us. So, see if I can get out of here without getting bombarded. No, didn't make it. Shit, now I'm in the building. This is not going well. There we go. And yes, I do know I need to eat, because I took a lot of damage. There we go. We're safe. That went swimmingly. So, basically what this is, it's a tower of chests. This one is completely full of shulkers. The hopper's full. And this one is slightly better than half full. That's amazing. So I don't see me ever needing to come back to this farm ever again. Whoops, don't want those there. I want them there. So basically now I'm just going to load these into the shulker boxes that I brought along, and we will get the hell out of here. So 3 full shulker boxes and almost another row. Amazing. So I think I got them all. And we're going to get the hell out of here. So I'm going to make sure that I'm back up to full health just in case. Oh, God, I did it again. Got to stop doing that. So I can fly back, but I don't need to. I built these when I came out to the End Islands. So this is just a quick way in and out. So this takes me directly back to the center island without the use of ender pearls. And this will take me right back to my spawn bed. Oh, shit, fuck. God damn it. Here I was describing everything to you guys. God damn it. No, I fucked up. God damn it. So you didn't get to see where I went when I got out of there. Not not thinking that one all the way through. So that deserves at least one, if not two, numpty counts. What I'll do is I will offload this stuff. Sunset. And then show you some of the other things that I've built around here. So there is now a door in and out because I put a I put a nether portal here, and I'll explain what I did. So this is a Shulker Box Unloader. So this takes, you put them in the top, you put in full Shulker boxes, and the items get spat out through this dispenser into this hopper, into the chest, and into our storage system. So it's fully automatic. What I'm going to do is put, that one has items, that one has items, that one has items, and that one has items. So I put two in this side, so there's one left behind, and one is here being unloaded. Sorry, it doesn't get spat. It gets spat through and here, and then the hopper is sucking the items out of it. Same thing on this side. And if you look over here, you can see the items are coming through. So this is going to take a while because he has to figure out where they go. They go into the overload chest here, which goes in a hopper chain to the next copper golem, and the chest that they're going to end up in is the last one in the line. So it's a little bit time consuming, but we got other shit to do, so this can take all the time it wants. But I thought that was pretty cool. So basically what happens is once that shulker is empty, this piston will fire, pushing it over on top of this. It ends up in this hopper because it can't stay there, and the unloaded shulker box will end up here in this chest. These are basically they're 1 block wide, and they're scalable, so you can, or tileable. You can actually run them multiples side by each. Fairly straightforward redstone design. I don't think I put the link in the description. I put the link in the description of the YouTube video to this design. There's a loader as well where you can actually automatically load them, but that's not 100% required. This, I think I switched over to bamboo and then forgot to put it back, so we're going to do that right now. Because I don't need the bamboo anymore. And the best thing you can use to farm bamboo in a hurry is actually a sword. Because it doesn't do any, it will cut the bamboo, but it won't do any other damage. And I think I'm going to end up too short for the sugarcane, but 3 short. We can fix that. I'm sure I can find some in the area. Did I say 3? Missed. And there's the 3. Yeah, I very much appreciate set and forget automation. kind of like this. So this, I think I can set back up. Clear the bamboo out of there. This is still set to craft correctly. I just pulled the hopper out of the way, is basically all I did to disconnect this from making paper. And I'm manual. Oh, I fixed the, I don't know if you recall, I was having an issue where there were item collisions happening with the second hopper that was over here. Basically, if you look at the hopper, we had pieces of material getting stuck right there. So I put in a block of, I removed one hopper, put in some packed ice, and then put the water source back in. And that seems to have fixed the issues I was having. So if I throw a stack in here, you can hear it ticking away. And the items are coming all the way up to the top and flowing across. None of them are getting stuck. What? But they are flowing straight out and through. Excellent. So this isn't fixed. Because it's being blocked by a hopper, which stops the water, but doesn't stop it completely. So I'm going to have to, I think what I'm going to have to do is move this water source back one so that I can put a solid block at the end. Basically, yeah. You have to think about that one. Test, test, test. So where did I put the bamboo? So this is what's left over from all the bamboo I farmed. And I've sorted this one so it'll take planks and blocks of bamboo, plus the raw bamboo. I have six shulker boxes for sand, which is probably what we're going to have to use. Some of these I don't think this chunk stays loaded when I leave, but we'll see. What I wanted to show you is I started to make, I got tired of, as an example, the stronghold there is 1,134 meters away in order for me to go to the end. I started to make another hub, and I did that on the nether roof. So basically you work your way all the way up to bedrock. You keep going until you find a block that is, when you're looking at it, I think it's the Y coordinate or the height is 127, I think, which means that that is only a one block. You ladder up to it, you hold down sprint and chuck an ender pearl. Basically what you're doing is you're kind of looking at the gap like this while you're sprinting. Chuck the ender pearl and you'll actually glitch through and up onto the roof. Then I built a TNT piston thingy that breaks bedrock so I could get back down. So that's effectively what we've done. And then I linked the portals to here. So when I come through here, I'm on the nether roof. So there's nothing here. I broke this bedrock here. And again, down you go. You can explore from down there. So there's the end portal. And right there is my mob spawner. So you can see that the end portal, instead of being 1,130 something blocks away, it's 136 block run. The mob spawner is 117 block run. The rest of them, any other waypoint beacons that you see are things like that one is the fortress. That one is, it's some ancient debris that I found. So basically that's where I was mining, and that's where the bastion is that I raided. So I can run very short distances. So for example, if I need to go to my mob spawner in a hurry, run to the end of the bridge, that walkway, sprint across here, and this takes me directly up into, because I broke the portal that was down below and relinked these two. Basically what I did is I moved the one from, it's a bit of a process, because what you have to do is I moved the portal, or broke the portal in the overworld, moved it up into the mob spawner, rebuilt it. It linked to itself, or it linked back to this one down in the irregular part of the nether. So what I did is I stood on, that's why this this pillar is here, basically. I stood on the center top of it, got the exact, or basically created a waypoint, so it's the exact coordinates, broke it, found where I had tunneled down for this, for the base portal over there, came back up, found this, the exact same coordinate, or found this beacon here, rebuilt the portal so they link, and I'm back in business. So that's basically what I've done. So I've got one here. This takes me directly to my mob farm. So no more running around or flying in. Right in here, ready to go. And then I repeated the exact same process. I did this last night before I went to bed. I couldn't sleep, so I did this instead. The end portal, this takes me to the room that we built, then realized that the sand duplicator didn't work. And like I indicated last night, and again when I was playing Division 2 earlier today, this is going to be a relatively short stream for me. It's currently 6:35 my time. I'm going to wrap this up somewhere around 8:30, so 2 hours from now, so that I can wind down and hopefully sleep, because I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight to Toronto. So basically, if I sprint through this, you can see this needs to be lit up. So this is manually how I get up and down into here. So basically I just built the portal frame here, and this takes me directly into the end. Exactly. That's exactly right, Thorn. The way the distance is, I think it's 6-to-1, I think, overworld to nether distances. So something that is 6 blocks in the overworld is 1 block in the nether. So now the reason I had to put the door here is every once in a while I get piglins wandering through. So I didn't want them wandering straight into the base. So basically made a security door. So let's see how many of these he's managed to put away. Let's build a few more shulker boxes. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll do 15. So 9 chests. So here's all there is to making shulker boxes. You need 2 shells and a chest in the center. That's the recipe. Bam, just like that. So these I'm going to fill manually with sand, and then haul that back. No, it makes, that's it. You are exactly correct. So basically what I've got here is I've got 2, Fortune and Silk Touch won't matter, but I've got 2 shovels for mining. The desert is way the hell over there. So we got a little bit of a flight. I'm going to grab a few more rockets. Now, I do have my ender chest in my inventory. So I think what I'm going to do is store these in here for now, just so that I have space for my sand. I'm taking the bow and the chest, but I'm going to leave a bunch of stuff behind. So I'm going to leave one of the picks behind. I'm going to leave one of the axes behind. I don't think I'm going to need torches, but I am going to need a bed. And I think I put the one that I built the last time back in the main base, so... just so that while we're there mining, I can sleep away the night. So that should be everything we need. Bueno. All right, let's be off. It is night. Let's sleep. Now, what's interesting is build height is 2 something, but you can fly higher than that. You just can't build up past, I can't remember what it is. It's either 194 or 256, and I don't remember. So I just gained a whole bunch of altitude, and now we're going to glide for a while. But this is, if the desert is a place that I'm going to go a lot for sand, I'm going to build a portal there, and we'll do the whole thing back and forth. Remind me before the end of the night to go back, and I'll show you where the collection system is for the for that Shulker Farm, because you missed all of that. Me getting out, basically all I did is I climbed out, hopped down, tried to go underneath, got hit by some Shulker bullets, floated around for a while, took a shit ton of damage, and then managed to run back inside, or run into the storage area, which is underneath it, and down, dug into the end island. That would be a perfect place for a Shulker loader, because you could AFK, and instead of it filling the chests, it would just fill Shulker boxes, fill and load them into Shulker boxes, so that all you have to do is grab the Shulker boxes when you're done and leave. Now, I picked this desert because I had a look on Chunk Base. It was the biggest desert that was close. It's huge. So I'm passing over Savannah right now. There's Badlands in the area, which is the natural. Oh, there's a village right there. I'm just going to load in, see what we've got here. Like I said, this is fairly. There's the start of the Badlands. So that is all terracotta in different colors. So what we're going to do is set up base here, so to speak. And then start mining sand. Actually, hang on for a second. Let's speed the process for this. I'm going to just collect the first one. You can see how quickly this is going. I didn't bring any emeralds, so never mind. I was going to set up my haste beacon, but I think I forgot to put emeralds in there. And we're going to be at this for a while. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. And like I said, that's build limit, but you can fly a lot higher than that because I was up around Y500, I think, at the apogee. Now, as we start to get into here, we start to run into sandstone. And that is exactly what it sounds like. It's a stone, so that would need a pickaxe to be mined. I don't need that, so I'm just going to work around it. And then once we're down to pure sandstone, we will move into a, or, you know, again, move to a slightly different area and keep going. Okay. A long time, methinks. One full. Yep. Google and or Chat GPT are your friends with this game. I use Chat GPT for quick, like, data type searches, and I use Google for build stuff. I'm trying to be somewhat systematic with my approach to how I'm collecting this. It'd probably be quicker to be completely random, but oops. What I'm going to do is put these down in my hotbar. Yeah, I didn't use ChatGPT for the longest time, and once I started to use it, I recognized its utility. It's not perfect, but for the stuff that I use it for, it's awesome. Really? Oop, missed him. I think we're going to run out of durability on my shovels before we fill those boxes. And dupers are so much easier. Unfortunately, no. Wander back over to the bed to sleep. Apparently that's the first cactus I've farmed. So we'll bring that back with us as well. So I figure we'll get 4 or 5 boxes loaded, and we'll call this good. I know I brought 15, but I think that's just going to take too long. What's the durability on that? Down to 622. I'm going to take it down to 500, and then I'm going to switch. So there's going to be a lengthy session in the mob grinder in my future. Or we'll put these when we're done, but they may as well take up the space there. So what are we at? We got 1, 2, 3, almost 4. Just going to do some line mining for a while because it minimizes how much running around I have to do after the fact, hunting these down. Hey, Terry, how's it going, bud? So if you were with me last night, sand duping is no longer a thing. They patched it. It was a glitch that allowed you to duplicate the sand, and they basically fixed the glitch. So what they did is they prevented you from deleting the portal frames for the end portal, because that was the easiest mechanic for them to fix apparently. So I have to do this the old-fashioned way. I've already taken the durability of one pick or shovel all the way down to as low as I want it to go, and now we're working on number 2. Doing pretty good. This is going to be a short stream because I have to get up stupidly early this tomorrow morning to catch a flight to work. So the flight departs at 5:15, so I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's not that I necessarily want to get up that early, but it's about a 45, 50-minute drive into the airport from here. So supposed to be, at security by 4:15. So I'm going to get up at 3, give myself a little bit of buffer time. And I've got a double wall thermos cup, so I'm going to make my coffee tonight before I go to bed. And it'll still be, it won't be hot, but it'll be comfortably drinkable in the morning for me. So how was your day, Terry? What'd you get up to? Because I did some Division 2 this morning with Robbo. I did 2 runs. We did a Dark Hours and an Iron Horse with the same guy, and we got them both exotics. I don't remember who pulled the EB for him, but it was Dirt. Dirt pulled the EB for him, and it was it Boom that pulled the Ravenous for him? I don't remember. I know it was not high. In fact, I didn't open either chest because the people in the line in front of me pulled it before I got there, so... We're on number 5. I think we're going to go for 6, and we're going to wrap it up at that point. So I'm going to put these back in here. There's no reason for us to do that many. Nice. That sounds awesome. Special occasion for your mom or just cuz? Exactly. I know myself. Nice. Quite literally. You know, it's as someone who now, to quote my daughter, I'm not diagnosed. She is. I'm not. With ADHD, but as she would put it, is not diagnosed but peer reviewed. And that is the truest of the truths with someone with ADHD is if I lose sight of something, it does not exist in terms of, you know, active memory. I definitely resemble that remark. Yeah, we'll finish this row and we'll see where we're at. Six shulker boxes is 3 double chests worth, so that's I think that's all the cobble that I've got currently is 3 double boxes. So this will keep me going for a while, and we know where this is. We can come back for more. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Hey, what's going on, Dirt? Your name came up not that long ago. Did you pull the EB or the RAV? And who was the other person that pulled one? Was it Boom that pulled the RAV and you pulled the EB this morning? And then more to the point, how many more runs did you guys do after I bailed? Okay. That's what I thought. That was my recollection. How many more runs did you guys do, and who filled back in after I bailed? Whoops. Nice. So 3 for 4. That's really, really good. Yeah, I'm replacing the ones that where I dig too deep here because we're at sea level. Oh, cool. Okay. Nice. So who jumped? So there were 3 that jumped out. Me. Did who else jumped out? One, two, three, four, five. One, 5. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more stacks. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to chat with you a whole lot. We were busy just, shooting shit and, you know, just tactical communications. But how are you feeling on the runs? Are you're more comfortable with your roles in the raids? Yeah, there's an awful lot of mind-numbing sameness to it once you've got it locked in. Which is surprisingly why I like doing the over-op, because I can basically just turn my brain off. There's 9, so this pass should pretty much do it. Uh-huh. That might have done it. Yes. Plenty of time. All right. Home is that away. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we just settled down for cruise. That should be high enough altitude to get us almost all the way back. So we'll throw this. You didn't see this at the start, Dirt. I built a Shulker Box Unloader and a Shulker Farm. I'm going to go back to the Shulker Farm just to show you guys the collection system. But yeah, Dirt, that makes complete sense. Constantly moving, yeah. The one thing that I found when I was learning the raids is I moved from roll to roll to roll. So I learned all of them, which gave me a complete picture of what it was we were trying to do. And then I basically, it's like, okay, now that I know how it all works, I'm just going to do what I like. And surprisingly, the Overwatch opportunistic is what I enjoy the most for now. Actually, I'm going to detour over here, Dirt, just to show you the shortcuts I made on the nether roof. Distances in the overworld versus distances in the nether are different. So if you travel 6 blocks in the overworld, it's the equivalent of only traveling 1 in the nether. So if nether hubs are amazing for time saving. So what I did is, and I fully explained this at the start or near the start of the video, basically it's a matter of making a portal, finding where it is in the nether, um, finding the exact coordinates, breaking it, and then rebuilding it up on the nether roof. And there's a glitch way to get yourself up onto the nether roof. So this is my end portal. This is now linked to a portal in the nether, but up on the nether roof. The nether is the opposite of the overworld. The bedrock is at the top. So we are actually on the nether roof. So the nether is all below us here. And the way you glitch yourself up here is there are certain spots, like the bedrock is not uniform. It starts 4-ish blocks below where the flat surface is. And then it varies. Basically, what you have to do is you have to find a spot where the bedrock is only 1 thick. The reason that you have to do that is this cannot be mined. It's not breakable. It's an unminable block. So what you do is once you find that block that is the maximum height that you can get from below, you build ladders up to it. So basically create a flat face up to it. Climb the ladder and hold down sprint, and then kind of aim at the gap between, if the nether roof continues on this way, and that's where the last ladder is, you aim right there and throw a nether portal, or sorry, an ender pearl at it. Ender pearls will teleport you to wherever they strike, and basically what it does is it glitches you through the gaps, and pops you up on the nether roof. So the end portal and my home base are 1136-ish or 34 blocks apart, roughly. And you can see here they're only 132. So it basically you're bending space effectively. So what I did is I made that portal on the overworld side. Found where it's because this spawns, when you do that, it spawns a portal in the nether somewhere. Found the exact coordinates, mapped it, went back to base, I ended up coming back to the base. Got myself back up onto the roof. So this was the first one up on the roof that I made. There is a machine that you can make where you can break bedrock. So that's basically what I did. This takes me all the way down to the nether. So once I glitched myself up here, I rebuilt this portal, which links right back to my base. And then built the portal. I ended up breaking it while I was doing it. But basically what you have is you've got a block of obsidian, a block of TNT, another block of TNT on top. Or sorry, there's a piston. Let me think here. Block of obsidian, a piston, a TNT, or two. I'll have to look it up again because I built it and then gone. Effectively, what you do is there's a trap door on one of the blocks that's here. There's another block with a lever on it. There's TNT and TNT. You flick the trap door, which causes you to basically occupy one point in space. and then you aim right there and spam putting another piston in place, TNT goes off. And effectively, if you've done it correctly, it took me about 4 or 5 attempts to get it to do it. But when you break the piston that you just placed, the bedrock's gone. So again, it's a glitch, but that's how I was able to mine back out. And then once I had that way to get up and down, then I basically just started making. I've got my end portal, I've got my mob spawner, and I've got my home. So this is the quick way to get around. So this takes me directly back to my base. So what I did is I just built this portal right at the entrance. Now, every once in a while, a piglin will come through the portal, so I ended up having to put a door in. So I did that first thing this morning, and then started mining or getting ready for all of the stuff that I was going to need. Sand is going to end up in here. We're going to put the bed back in here. Cactus flowers, we're going to put those in with the seeds and flowers. And the cactus itself, I'm going to put it in with dye because you can cook it and make green dye. So let me just get the filters set for this. So dyes. So there's things that I'm going to have to make filters for that are not being filtered into the system. And sticks go in here with wood. I'm just putting my inventory back to where it all should be. So I'm going to have to deal with those sooner rather than later. So this is the other thing that I made. These are Shulker Box Unloaders. You put the Shulker boxes in here. They filter through the system. They end up unloading here. Oh, this is completely backed up. So let's remedy this manually. So it's a cool idea, but the golems sort really, really, really slowly. Whoops. Okay, that was a cool idea, but I think what I'm going to have to do is do the shulkers manually. So I guess this chunk stayed loaded because that was working away while we were down at the mining. The sand will go quickly because I put it in the bulk section, and I should probably put the shulker shells in the bulk section as well. In fact, let's do that. I think I can make this so third one over is going to end up being shulker shells. And that'll divert them. One, two, should be this one. So basically when this hits 41, it'll just start dumping shulkers down into the system. You can see now it's flicking back and forth. Oops, that was a mistake. I think I just fucked my whole system. Yep. So note to self, don't mine to the back. I can mine out this way if I don't want to fly out. And I'm missing one stone. So this will bulk unload a little faster. And this is now Shulker. I'll just manually teleport these back and forth. Oh, that's Iron Dummy. I'll clear the filter for that in a second. So I'm going to leave the filter for now because apparently my copper golem is still putting things in slowly but surely. But they'll end up in the overflow chest. Apparently it's nighttime. So it's filling the hopper in behind here. That's the reason that you're not seeing, even though there's more dropping into the system. There's 5 stacks, I think, in a hopper. Yep. So it takes a little bit of time for that to filter through. Okay, so there's no more coming this way. There we go. So the hopper in behind that chest is full. So if I pull items out, you'll see it actually is ticking in, and that's basically the hopper inventory dropping itself in place. So I didn't really explain this. So basically what this does is you put this, you can see it just did some magic here. So the Shulker box that I put in here ended up here. Basically, it came in through the hopper. It got put into this dispenser. which one read it? I think this, I don't remember which reads which anymore, but it sends a redstone pulse through the whole system and it dispenses it into place. When this has 0 items in it, you can see there's one sand in it as it basically, you can see it's just flowing through here. And I'm going to do these manually. So these are flowing into the system and should be dropping in right here. That's where we ended up putting, no, sand is in the last inventory space. So basically this is being, the hopper is pulling the items out. When this is empty, it's going to fire that piston, which drives it over here. It can't stay there because the comparator is there. So it basically breaks. This hopper picks it up and drops the empty ones in here. So this is empty storage. And I can put 2 more in here. This hopper is currently locked because of that, that redstone block. But I'm basically going to do 3 and 3. So these will all do their thing automatically, automagically, if you will. Yeah. So this line of each slice is dropping sand in here, and you can see it's slightly overcoming hopper speed. Oh, the mechanics in this game are unbelievable. But yeah, this basically is just, it's an automatic unloading of these, so I can drop them in here and go do something different. And that sand is being filtered by the redstone stuff that's in behind here. And it's all ending up in here automatically. And it will fill this slice. I think I've got 3 double chests worth, which is all the sand I'm going to need for quite a while. And you can see what we've got here for shulker shells. So each 2 of these and a chest makes a shulker box. So I don't know how many shulker boxes that is, but it's a lot. I could do the math on it, but I don't feel like it. So those are all empty boxes. So I'm going to store them up above in the shulker unloader because then I know where they are. And what time is it here now? It is, I got about half an hour before I want to start wrapping down. So I think what I'm going to do is go start repairing these torches. I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have. Let this do its thing, sorting everything out, because I'm going to be gone for the week. I do have some unfiltered items that are up above that I'm going to need to decide where they're going to get dropped, but I'm not doing that right now. So that portal over there was or is where my mob farm is. So you can see it's 764, 765-ish blocks away, or meters. Yeah. Well, yes, because a plethora officially is a glut or an oversupply. So it could be argued, and you can see here when I came out of here, my mob spawner is now only 119 meters away, so it's a very quick sprint across to it. I could actually make a rail system here just so that I can go, you know, zipping back and forth between all of these, and I may do that anyway. Or I could grab the elytra and fly over. But what I did is I moved the portal from down below directly up onto the mob spawner. So it's zoom, here we are. Um, I do have other, farms that I want to build and other things like that. But this, like I said, ultimately is a forever world, which means that I'm just going to continue to build and expand and do builds and shit like that. Early game is occupied mostly with resource gathering. Most people don't do the farms like this. They don't take it to the nth degree like I have a tendency to do. If I don't have to go down into a strip mine and mine, I don't, because I don't have to. So I've got an iron farm so that I don't have to go looking for iron. So that way I can make hoppers. I've got a rocket, basically auto crafting system, so that I don't have to do it. I can have this done completely automatically. And what I may end up doing is moving. I'm going to build a bigger mob farm. In fact, I'm going to build a creeper farm so that the only things that can spawn in the farm itself are creepers. So the only mob drops I'm going to get from that farm will be gunpowder. When I do that, I'm going to move the sugarcane farm beside it, and then have it autocraft. Like it just does its thing. It's going to turn the sugarcane into paper, and then the rockets, or sorry, the gunpowder and the paper make your rockets. And it's fully automatic. I don't have to do anything. No transferring of stuffs. So that is something that I'm going to do in the not too distant future, just to make my life easier. I want to have both in the general area of where my base is, so that the chunks are loaded, so the farms are always in operation. And then I'm going to replicate what I've got down there. Replicate the sugarcane farm with bamboo, so that I can basically craft chests, so that I have all the chests I'm going to need for all of the shulker boxes, basically. And then auto craft shulker boxes. Now that one, I'm only going to switch it on when I need shulker boxes, because the shulker boxes can't be stored, or only each shulker box occupies one cell in a chest, whereas the shulker shells stack to 64. So Thorn, I started to answer your question, or whether that's a plethora. I don't remember if I finished my thought. So the official definition of a plethora is a glut or an oversupply. Some might argue that it's a panoply. A panoply is just the right amount. So it's, which word do you want to use, plethora or panoply? I think it's just the right amount for this playthrough. I'm gonna break the mob farming here in half. I'm going to fix one shovel, or repair one shovel completely, and then take you back to the Shulker farm, because I'm a numpty. So dirt, basically the Shulker farm itself looks like this. I showed everybody this and then forgot to switch back away from this when I went down into the collection area. So I just got to go back over to the collection area. Absolutely. They both. So I'm not going to sort this right now, but yeah. So anyway, that shulk, I've always been approached making a shulker farm with a lot of trepidation, because some of the designs, it's not so much the build itself that's complex, it's getting the builds themselves are complex, and it's getting the shulker in to the farm and making sure everything works. This one was easy. It's I did a fair bit of YouTubing over the last week, looking at different builds and which was the easiest. This one, if you use a rail system, it's so easy. I didn't want to get involved with a rail system because the shulker where my shulkers were I could have built this close to where the end city was, but I wanted to make it somewhere that was an easy teleport over. So it ended up being, I think it's 1,500 blocks away from where my shulker, where the end city was, where the shulkers were. So I didn't want to build that many rails. So I ended up doing it. I got them into a boat, and then you can attach a lead to a boat now. And as long as I don't fly, well, with the elytra, basically you can drag it along behind you. So what I basically did dirt was this area of the farm. I expanded this into a bigger platform with full size blocks instead of slabs. Got the shulker into a boat, attached the lead, flew it back here. I aimed for right about there and basically crashed myself into the side of it, which put the boat right here on the surface. By the time I fell down, it was in place, broke the boat. It instantly teleported inside the farm, and just like that, I'm done. So it took me about-ish an hour to make the farm. It took me a half hour-ish, 40 minutes to get the shulker in. And then AFK'd, and you saw how many shulker shells that I have. So it was highly effective. And this is going way faster than I thought it would, so bear with me here for a second, and then I'll go show you the collection system. I'm probably going to put a shulker loader. What I've got back at the base is the unloader. There's an equivalent loader that takes items, inventory, and puts them into shulker boxes. So that makes the most sense to me from if I'm going to AFK for a long period of time ever again. It just maximizes the speed of leaving the area. No intention of keeping these. So, just while this is doing its thing, this is the Shulker Box Loader. I can't make that any bigger. That is a YouTube video. So basically what this does is you put empty shulker boxes in this inventory. So in that chest, you put whatever it is that you want into a chest, or even a chest array, or just you could even have it just in a hopper array. I'd probably put a couple chests in here just as a buffer. They come down through the system, load this. Again, there's this basically is a dropper or a dispenser. Anyway, it punts it across. No, yes, it punts it across, goes into this hopper. and ends up in here. So the full ones go basically like that. So that's how that one works. No. So there's a piston here. When this shows full, it sends a comparator signal, I think back this way to this observer, which fires the piston, basically drives both of them this way. So the shulker box breaks as it comes across this comparator, kind of like the unloader, goes into free form instead of attached, and then gets pulled by the hopper and down and stored in this chest. So that is the loader. In this guy's video, it basically has both. So that's the, like I said, that's the loader, and that's the unloader. So this is what I've got back at the base. I built it such that this is the part that's hanging back towards the player, and this is the part that's basically tucked up against the sidewall. Yeah, I forgot to switch. Just gonna let these guys build up for a second. So anyway, that is the shorter term plan. Longer term plan, I don't really have one. Other than just continue. I'm constantly watching other channels' YouTube videos for build ideas. I mean, at some point, I need to actually go mining. I'm probably going to need more diamonds. I need to finish the trading hall because I'm built to a point now where I should. Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, what I'm going to do here is this thing is just about healed. So I'm going to get the rest of the way healed. And then we'll go show you the chest array. And then I'm going to call it a night and go see if I can hopefully sleep from 9 till 3. And then go catch a pair of flights. I got to travel through Montreal to get to Toronto if I go in the morning. So, and then I will be home Friday lunchtime and streaming again Friday night. So with the creeper farm I'm planning on building, it's going to have, this one it drops 21 blocks, which leaves the most fragile, and I can't remember which is the most fragile, but I think it's the zombies. It leaves them with 1 heart, which means that a single shot with the sword kills them. The other mobs end up with 2 hearts, which again is just a 1 shot with the sword. Now, this sword has sweeping edge. Basically, what that does is the mob that I target gets 100% damage. The mobs on the periphery take 75% damage. So it will, if you've got you probably notice that when you get a bunch of them here, I'm just going to wait for them to build up. So if they're side by side, I can kill more than one with 1 shot. So these farms become really efficient if your drop rates are such that the chute here is constantly full. Yeah, we can do that too. But I may want to stream because I find this chatting with you guys relaxing and therapeutic. It's good for the soul, so to speak. I assumed it was something like that. So this is almost healed back up. There it is. All right. What we'll do this time is we'll just fly in. Or fly over. I also want to, like I said, connect some of these up with rail transport because it's a little bit faster. Yep. So there's the farm. You can see I don't know how well you can make it out, but there's a line of hoppers. Come on, get in, get in. So basically, this is a chest hopper tower. So that's the first, whoops. This chest fills, or this chest, that's the bottom hopper from that tower stack that came out of the farm. They go in here, just on the other side, right there is a hopper that feeds into this chest. Then there's a hopper that feeds into that chest, and then there's a hopper that feeds into that bottom chest. So they flow downhill, if you will. This one will fill up first, all of its inventory, and then this will fill up, and then this will fill up, yada, yada, yada. So it would be entirely possible to put a Shulker loader somewhere down here. All I've been doing is putting 4 Shulker boxes mounted to the wall here, loading them by hand. That's all I did the first time. So that's how we did that. So all I have to do when I come into AFK in the farm is go to the center of the roof and then go down into the safe AFK area that I've built into it. Just hang out there. You know, you're perfectly safe once you're in the farm. The hard part is getting in and out. Nailed it. So now I'm curious. So this is 9 by 7. 9 times 7 is 63 slots times 64 in each one. So there's 4,032 shulkers in this. And then this one has 9 times 3 plus 55. So 9 times 3 is 27 times 64 is 1728 plus 55 is 1783. Add that to the memory. So I've got 5,815 shulker shells. If I divide that by 2, that's 2,907 and a half. So 2,907 shulker boxes. I'm never going to need to go back to that farm ever again. So it was one of those that took me an hour and a half-ish to build. I AFK'd in it for the afternoon, and I never need to go. Well, probably won't ever have to go back. But if we were on a server, that would be something that everybody could benefit from. And how are we doing for sand? This is slowly filling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this running in the background overnight so that that system drains. So basically parking myself right here where I know I can't see if there's an Enderman in the base. I won't make eye contact with him. Therefore, I'm not going to get myself killed. But with that, I'm going to sign out. It's 22 minutes past 8. It's 8 minutes earlier than I thought I'd planned on, but this is a good jumping off point. So, excuse me. It gives me 38 minutes-ish to wind down, get my brain to chill down, and hopefully sleep. So, like I said, I'm gone to work tomorrow. I'm in Toronto all week, and I'll be back, like I said, lunchtime on Friday. Probably will be streaming Friday night. And I don't know what the weekend holds, but after that point, things are, I should have a routine for 2 weeks-ish. Over Christmas, what you see behind me is a guest bedroom, and I've got my daughter and her boyfriend and their 85-pound German Shepherd, plus my son. So 4 more entities in a house that's only 1,200 square feet. So it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, but they're all coming Christmas Eve. I think they're going home on the 26th or the 27th. I can't remember which it is. So they're only staying for a couple of days. I'm working up to and including the 24th. We've got 2 stats. So we've got Christmas Day and Boxing Day, which is the 26th, as statutory holidays. So I'm going to be off for those. And then I think we're into the weekend. So I'm going to have a 4-day long weekend in there. And then again, something, not going to have guests over, but we've got a partial work week the next week, and then it's New Year's Day is a statutory holiday, so I'll be off that as well. So I'm going to be streaming as much as I possibly can. I don't have to be back in Toronto until the second week in January, so I'm home for a stretch, which is nice. So it'll be a more regular streaming schedule. But with that, I'm going to log. I had a blast today. 2 different streams, 2 different games. I'm going to try and do that every Sunday. Hopefully, we get people with Robbo and the APX clan that we can do the Division 2 raids, because really that's about the only content that I'm interested in doing for Division 2. They sort of lost me about 6 months ago or 4 months ago or whatever it was, and I don't know if it's a combination of burnout and some of the decisions they were making. It was just I didn't feel like playing anymore. Like I said, I lost the plot. They lost me. So, but raids are fun. It's nice giving back to the community. It's nice listening to the excitement in someone's voice when it's like, is that really for me? Oh my God, you guys are awesome. And it's easy content. Once you get the mechanics of the Division 2 raids figured out, it's not that hard. The mechanics are hard, but the doing of it, once you know how it works, is fairly straightforward. All right, Thorn, Dirt, everybody else that's here, I'm going to log out. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. It does help a lot. And we will catch you guys Friday night. So we'll see you in 6 days. Have a great night, everybody.